Hey folks, welcome back. Hey, we've got some exciting videos to look forward to. A client of mine stopped by the office. He apparently just bought a used car from a private dealer, and it turns out that when he bought the used car, it had certain issues that he didn't even know it did have. You know, so on checking out the car, first of all, it was a stick shift. We found out that he needed a new clutch. I mean, he found that out when he was driving. The car suddenly couldn't move, and when he contacted the person that sold him the car, the gentleman said, "Hey, you must have burnt the clutch." But he said he was doing the same thing when I bought it. And then on when we got into fixing the clutch, we found out that the guides in the engine were broken. It was a miracle the car was still running, but the top guides were broken, and that ran him several thousands of dollars. It was just under $4,000 for that fix, and that's why I decided to come out with this video. What to do, what to check out for when buying cars from a private seller. Now, there are a few key things that you need to know. One thing I would recommend is getting the vehicle history report. I know there are few of them there, but it doesn't really tell you what the car has been to us. As in most auto mechanics don't even report to these sites. But it would be nice just to get an idea, if you do, for instance, do a Carfax or an Experian check, or whatever history report you can get your hands on. Typically it costs money to get all that, but I would suggest that you do that. But the best and basic way is to take it to a reputable car auto mechanic and have them check it out. It'll cost you anywhere from $70 to $150 to do that. Most reputable car repair shops. So that's what I would recommend. Now we're going to walk outside. We're going to go outside. I'm going to show you tips to what you can check for, what you can visually see to tell you the conditions of the car when you're buying a used car. Now, the ultimate goal, when you do all this is like maybe 50% done. You still have to take it to a auto repair shop, unless you have a history of that car, unless you know who used it. Maybe you're buying it from a friend that have driven the car for a number of years, or from a relative that owns the car and wants to get rid of it. But from my experience, I tell you, you're better served going to an auto repair technician to take another look at it. Let's go outside. I'm going to act like I'm buying a used car on one of our cars on the lot, and I'll tell you what to check out for. Okay, so folks, I'm here. I'm going to imagine I'm going to get this car from a private seller. Okay, so first thing I want to do is check the tires. See the dents. See the dents on the tires. Okay, check the tires. Make sure they're check the depth. See how the tread life is, and then see if they are matching tires. You want to make sure. Now, if you have non-matching tires, it tells you of the kind of user. At least you must have two sets matching tires. So if you have a different tire in all the wheels, then there's a problem. Okay, so you want to make sure you got matching tires. Okay, then you go and do a visual look on the body. Look for the paint jobs. Look at just see if you can notice any flaw in the bodywork. That's what I mean, you can visually do all this. Just check and see, make sure there's nothing. The next thing you want to do, you want to go in, before you start the car, you open the hood. Open the hood. Open up the hood. Guess what? Don't forget your terry rag. Now you could have a piece of tissue. Now you want to check the engine oil and make sure it's good. Oh yeah, there's a lot of engine oil here, but this is yeah. So usually you use a white cloth to tell you what color the oil is at, but you want to check all that. Um, so this actually checks out, tops up pretty good. So that's fine. Then you want to check your antifreeze. This is a max level. Then you want to check for leaks. So this is the valve cover area where the valve cover, typically the valve covers always go bad. That's one of the common areas where you have leaks. And then there's some leaks you can't check. You can't check if the unless you crawl under the car, if the you can't see all the leaks. So if the oil pan is leaking, you got to go under. Or better still, a better way to do it would be to move the car back if the car's been sitting there for a while, and see if you'll have leaks underneath the car, on the floor, if you have spots of oil and stuff like that. But as you can see, this engine is pretty clean. It's there are no leaks whatsoever on the top end. So next thing we're going to do is to start the car. So I'm going to leave the hood open. The reason why I'm leaving the hood open is that I'm going to start the car. I want to hear how the engine sounds, and then I am going to get obviously get the keys from the or tell the seller to start the engine. Okay, so we are going to start this engine, and now you listen for knocks or unusual noises. But that started perfect. So you go back there. You go back under the hood and listen for unusual noises. This is okay. This sounds really nice. This sounds mechanically good. So you listen for unusual noises, and then we don't hear nothing on this. So you do another walk around. All the lights are good. Take a look around. See? Okay. You see, you make sure all the lights are working. So the front lights are good. Headlights. The rears are good. Typically, it's always nice to have somebody here with you to check the brake lights, the reverse lights, and all that. So you go ahead and turn it back off. And then you look at the dash and see if you have, it's important. You want to make sure you do not have a check engine light on. So it's important, like we can see, there's no, it says we're almost out of gas. But you just want to make sure check engine lights are not on. The dash is pretty clear above lights. So there are a few things that could come up here. You could have the ABS light on, the check engine light on. Now, that would affect the price. And that's why I recommend that you take it to an auto mechanic workshop to figure out what you might have to do, the repairs that might be necessary. Now, it's not going to be possible for you to check the suspension. So most people, I see them, they go on and bounce. They try to get that done. That's, as far as I'm concerned, that's a waste of time. You need to take it to a professional shop because you don't even know what you're doing when you do all that. It will take someone with experience to figure that out. All right. So, well, this car checks out good. This car checks out good. I mean, that's just the basic thing. This is what you check out for when you want to buy a car from a private seller. Now, when you have, but again, you still have to work out the pricing, figure out what the car's worth. So you have to do some research, figure out what the car's worth, and what what a fair price is for you to buy the car at. And then still, I'll still buttress this fact. I'll still say this. After you've done all your checks and you were sold on the car, it doesn't hurt. Take it to a auto car workshop, auto car mechanic workshop, and have it checked out. All right, till I see you next week, we'll be talking about what to check out for when you go buy a car from a used car dealer or new car dealer. But we're going to work on the used car dealerships. So what you need to check out for when you go buy a car from a used car dealership. All right, see ya. Take care.